I was born with the dream. I wasn't necessarily born in a trunk, but it was always going to be the theater. It was always going to be the theater. I was always going to be an actor. It was never a question. Um, and so I got married, and I had a baby, and
How old were
then
you then?
probably 19.
Wow.
Well, but that's, you were supposed to get married at 19. You're supposed to have babies. But I didn't like it so much. I mean, I liked the baby. I didn't like being married so much because I felt that there was more expected of me than I was willing to give. Marriage is a partnership, and I don't think I really ever wanted a partner. So it didn't last as long as I would have liked it to, because you figure you should at least be married a couple of years before you bail, but it didn't work that way. But I
Well,
went.
results may vary.
Well, results may vary. Things look bigger in the mirror. And so I was working at the Hudson Guild on a show. I was stage managing, I think, and started talking to this actor, and my kid was the same age as his kid, and his wife had passed or something. And talked and talked, and he said, "Well, if you want to come out and be a nanny come out to California, be a nanny of my kid." I was like, "Okay, how's this work?" She said, "Well, we're gonna go to Lubbock, Texas first,
Whoa.
because yeah, Lubbock, Texas first, oil and cotton, and then we're gonna drive to San Diego." And I said, "What? To what?" Because I'd never heard of San Diego. Because when you watch Hullabaloo or any of those shows on TV, it was always Los Angeles. So I didn't know there were other places inside of California. I don't know what I thought, but I didn't know. And so I said to my mom, "Hey, I'm gonna go to California with this guy. I'm gonna be nanny to his kid." And my mother's like, "What? Wait, what?" I said, "Yeah, I think I need to do this." And so about 2 months later, she said, "Okay." So we went. And we drove to Lubbock, Texas. And I saw my first bout of dinner theater. So I watched people do this. And then periodically I would slip in and do a little something because an actor needed to go. So, and then we drove to San Diego, where it turned out I wasn't a very good nanny. I just, I didn't know. I didn't know anything about nannying, but I wanted to go to California. I saw it on television, you know. Um,
So how did you get started performing in San Diego?
well, he was part of a group called the San Diego Rep.
Okay.
And so when we got there and realized that it was not going to work out, I had to figure out what to do. So someone said, "Well, you should probably go over to the welfare office and see if they can help you out with some food stamps until you get a job." So I did that, and they said, "Well, you can't work." I was like, "What do you mean I can't work? I have to. I have to work." They were like, "If we're giving you food stamps, you can't work." And they sent was $64 a month, so $32 on the first of the month and $32 the second.
For you and your daughter.
Uh-huh. And now listen, it was a long time ago. We're talking, early 70s. Oh, yeah, kind of late 70s actually. 77, 78. So it's late. But that sustained us, but I didn't understand why I could not work. And so whenever they would do auditions at the Rep, I'd go over there, and then they got NEA grants, so I applied for those. And when you when you get welfare, they take the money out of whatever. If you get a job, they take the money away. So you have to kind of try to figure out how to do it all. I can say to this day I'm all paid up. I've paid them. I literally paid them everything back. I still have a copy of my Medi-Cal card
Wow.
because I never ever wanted to forget those days and explaining to people, because People used to say, "Oh, all those welfare mothers." Like, nah, that was good for many years, and nobody wants to stay on welfare because in those days they could knock on your door at any time of the day and night, and you couldn't have a man in the house, you couldn't have a television, you had to be able to explain where you got books from. I mean, it was very intrusive. You couldn't really do anything, and you were so sick of people just popping up that you wanted to find a way to get these fuckers, oh, pardon me, get these people out of your life.
You can use whatever language.
I know, but if you're going to show this in the future, like in 50, I don't want them to think that I was totally vulgar. Semi-vulgar, not totally. So it was important for me to get off of it because I just felt like you should have some dignity when you're in need, because it was set up to help people get to where they needed to get to.